For me, it's about the law and people. I just need facts, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Just facts. And how people can resolve their problems and just be better for it.
Justice with passion.
I always knew I was going to go into law because I tried to see everybody's point of view in an argument. And I encouraged people to talk to each other to try to resolve their problems.
Justice with truth.
Do not waste your time and do not waste mine.
This is Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. Carly James is suing her parents, Charlotte and Jeffrey James, in the amount of $10,000. Ms. James claims her parents went back on a promise to help her raise her child and says she is suffering from financial distress.
Carly James, right? You are here today suing your mother and your father for $10,000. Can you explain to me why you're suing your parents for $10,000?
Yes, Your Honor. My parents convinced me to go through with a pregnancy that was conceived out of a rape. They told me that they would disown me if I had an abortion. We grew up, I was in a religious family and involved in church. Everything that I've done is to serve the church, to share the love of Christ, and that's my background there. And so my parents convinced me to...
Are you the only child?
Yes.
Okay.
My parents convinced me to go through with this pregnancy. I grew up in Texas, and again, like I said, very religious background. And the incident as it happened, it was on my school's campus. I was with a fellow student that I thought that I knew, someone that I thought that I could trust. I was embarrassed. I was devastated.
Ashamed, yes.
Ashamed, yeah. I didn't tell anyone about it, actually, until I discovered that I was 6 weeks pregnant. At that point, I finally confided.
Why didn't you, Carly, why didn't you report it? Did you not want to do that?
Again, growing up in a religious family, we didn't really talk about these kinds of things, and so I just didn't know what to do. This was my first kind of real-world scenario here. I didn't want to tell my parents because I was, again, ashamed and embarrassed, and when I realized that I was pregnant, that was when I confided in a close friend, and she was actually the one who convinced me to tell my family, and she also convinced me to go to the police about it. And when I did go to the police, they arrested the guy on felony charges. And
all right, let me ask Mr. and Mrs. James, how did you feel when you learned your daughter was a victim of a sexual assault?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
You must have been devastated.
Only God can tell. I grabbed my daughter's hand. I fell to my knees with her. I prayed, Lord knows I prayed, because I know my mother was a victim of an assault. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. So I'm a woman and her mother. I fell to my knees asking God just why? And I don't question God. But when my daughter, that young lady there, came to me and told me what had happened, all I knew to do, Your Honor, is get on my hands and knees with my daughter and pray and ask God, why?
Did you support her through, she filed the police, the police arrested this young man?
Your Honor, my
Did you support him
husband
during this? Support her during this time?
Yes, ma'am. My husband and I, he can tell you.
Well, we put some retainer fees in for some medical, for some medical care, and for her to get some treatment, for
what
being
kind of
a
treatment
victim.
did she need?
Well, she needed some psychology treatment,
Some
where they
psychological,
could.
some help?
Yeah.
Now, Carly, what happened? Do you mind if I call you Carly? What happened? So you filed charges. The police arrested him for felony charges for sexual assault. What happened with the case?
so in the state of Texas, you have 90 days to prepare and to begin your trial. And just before the 90 days was up, the DA decided not to prosecute. And so...
Why?
Because it happened on a college campus, and there was a lot of he said, she said, and it's also, I'm an African-American woman in the state of Texas, and there was just a lot of things going against me, I feel. Felt heartbroken. I didn't know what to do. I had finally come forward and said something, spoken my truth, and then it was almost like it was a waste. I wish I had never said anything at all. And throughout the process, through some of the depositions and things, I noticed that my family seemed to be kind of distancing themselves from me, and I didn't quite understand why. And I realized that
Distancing themselves from you?
yeah, they seemed just closed off. They didn't seem as open as they had when I had previously shared about the rape. And I realized that during these depositions, obviously there's lots of questions asked, and it came to their attention that I was not a virgin at the time of this incident, and they were not okay with that.
Coming up on Justice for All.
She was the victim of a sexual assault.
It's not an option for an abortion in my religious.
Okay, it's not
And-
an option for you, but it's not you that was pregnant.
If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Carly James, who is suing her parents, Charlotte and Jeffrey James, for $10,000.
Could I go back and ask you about the decision not to terminate the pregnancy? How did you come up with that decision? Why did you decide to keep the baby?
They told me that God had a plan for the baby and that I needed to keep the baby. And I knew that I couldn't support a child on my own at this time. And so that was when they pledged their support to me. And so I knew that if I had their support, if I had them behind me, that I would be able to support this child. And I felt comfortable bringing the child into the world, knowing that I had.
But you wanted to terminate. You wanted to have an abortion at the initial.
If I believed that it was only me going to be able to provide for this child, I was not in a place to do that.
So do you think you were in an emotional state that you were able to make that decision, or do you think your parents influenced you to make that decision?
I felt as if in order to have the support of my parents, I needed to have this child. Like I said, they had said that they would disown me if I did have an abortion. So
They said that to you?
they did, yes.
They said that to you?
Yes.
That they would disown you?
Yes.
Did Mr. and Mrs. James, did you understand the pain that she was going through?
Yes.
Did you understand she wanted to terminate this pregnancy?
Yes.
For very obvious reasons, she was the victim of a sexual assault.
It's not an option for an abortion in my religious.
Okay, it's not
And-
an option for you, but it's not you that was pregnant. Please explain to me what kind of talks did you have with your daughter to convince her or to persuade her or to influence her not to have an abortion? Please explain.
Would you like to speak something?
Well, the Lord is going to make a way for her. We taught her from the beginning. We sent her to school. She was in Sunday school. She was excelling greatly in the things that she done, and she always had a religious base. Now, when she went off to college, I gave her some understanding about what happens in the world if you get caught up out there.
Did you talk to her about
talked
the
to her
birds and the
about
bees,
some of the
about
things that-
sex, about
Yeah,
Because I went to
everything?
college myself, so
Okay, did you trust her enough that you
I had
raised
some
a
trials and
young
tribulations.
girl that you would be proud of? Did you trust her?
I did.
After you raised her?
I did.
Yes.
Okay.
And I know she got into some of the things that go on college campuses, tattoos and piercings and stuff like
That's
that,
not
and parties.
acceptable.
And parties, but it's everything within
not
within
acceptable.
Okay.
reason. It has to be balanced. And I'm not saying that because she got victim, it's not her fault. It's not, because people get victimized every day. But I'm telling her to stay on the path and keep your mind straight and make good decisions. And sometimes it'll keep you out the way of harm.
But the rape was not her choice.
Your
Yes.
Honor, I trust
So-
God
so-
with her. I trust.
Okay, what about
she's
trusting-
raised in church. She
What about
knows
trusting your daughter?
with tattoos and sex, fornication, and alcohol. No, that's not allowed in our home. She wasn't raised that way. She's a good young woman.
So she is a good young woman. She's a fine young woman. She's a single mother who's trying to make it
and she has to stay
by
in prayer.
herself.
She has
So
to
explain
stay
to
in
me,
prayer.
in one line in your statement, you say that you told her that having the baby was the only option because the community in church would not be settled with God if she had the abortion.
No,
What do
she-
you mean by that?
That's not selling in our community.
In your community, in your church?
And in my church, correct. And I stand on my faith with it, and she
Okay,
knows I do.
So
I love her
So
at
do you
one time
care-
as a woman.
do you care about your community and your church more than the welfare of your daughter?
I care about my faith. I believe in God, and I believe that God will make a way for her. Yes, He will. He made a way for us. We did not do those things before we were married. We got married. We have been happily. We raised her properly, and for her to come and then we spend money to try to make sure that everything is going to work out with this animal that hurt her and violated her.
Did you kick your daughter out of the house?
Yes, I did, ma'am. I did not kick her out of the house.
I heard you gave her $600.
I gave her $600.
You gave her
excuse
$600 and a bus ticket. You told her to pack her things and go live with family in Illinois.
me. Yes, ma'am.
So you threw her away like a piece of garbage.
Coming up on Justice for All.
My parents, they told me that God told them that I had evil spirits inside of me and that they couldn't have those under their roof. And so that is why,
So you can't come back.
correct.
You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Carly James, who is suing her parents, Charlotte and Jeffrey James, for $10,000.
This is the first time you've seen each other in how long?
Since they kicked me out.
She came
So
to our home.
How long has it been?
They kicked me out around the beginning of the new year.
8 months or so?
Correct, yes.
8 months to a year?
Yes.
Okay. And you had the baby?
I've had the baby. I've had her for about 3 months now, and
It's a little girl,
it's a little girl. Her name is Jasmine.
Jasmine.
And it's been a struggle. That's why I'm here. I need help, and my parents, they told me that God told them that I had evil spirits inside of me and that they couldn't have those under their roof. And so that is why,
So you can't come back.
correct, I've tried calling them. I've tried taking Jasmine and going and knocking on their door.
Have you
and
seen your grandchild?
No, ma'am.
Do you not want to see your grandchild? So tell me where you're living and how you're supporting yourself day by day.
So right now I'm just staying with some friends. A lot of the community that I had were people from the church, and so they don't really want anything to do with me after everything got out. I'm on the wait list for a few housing places, and I have a small job that's helping to make ends meet. I've found a few programs that are helping with watching Jasmine while I'm working, and I have evidence of pay stubs and
Here, let me see.
rent spent on motel rooms, and it's not fair to her. I want her to experience life the same way that I was able to until now, and I don't want her to think that she's the reason for any of this, because she's not. And I battle every day with wondering, did I deserve this?
Coming up,
That you had to manipulate, and that's the only word I can use, manipulate and coerce her into doing what you thought was right.
You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of Carly James, who is suing her parents, Charlotte and Jeffrey James, for $10,000.
Carly, you didn't deserve this, and your baby girl doesn't deserve this either. At all. At all. Religious beliefs aside, because it's such a personal issue. I have no right to judge you based on that. I will never do that. But I have a beautiful young girl who is suing you for $10,000 because you promised to protect her, you promised to be there if she had this child. It was almost like you had a panicked response to what your community and church would think, that you had to manipulate, and that's the only word I can use, manipulate and coerce her into doing what you thought was right for you, not her, at that moment. And that is a very difficult thing to swallow. Very difficult thing to swallow. I mean, aren't we taught that we have to love each other and protect each other always? I mean, look at your daughter now. She is suffering. She is all alone, living in motel rooms, trying to figure out how she can feed her child, trying to get help from the state of Texas. And no state is going to deliver what a single mother needs, ever. But I have faith in her. I have faith that she's going to finish college, that she's going to figure out how to make this, and she's going to be an example. And just Carly, the mere fact that you decided to have this baby, this beautiful baby, knowing where it came from. I just have chills thinking how brave you are. And I'm very, very proud of you.
Judge Perez's verdict when Justice for All returns.
You know, I promise I will try to help you as much as I can, and I will not fail you on that promise. But I cannot find under the law that a parent's promise is legally binding. It should be. It's much more than legally binding, you know that, right? It's morally binding. And that's much more important. Your parents have made a very clear declaration today of what they want. Maybe you needed to hear it after not seeing them for a long time. So, based on the evidence, I find there's no legal valid claim to your claim that you're suing the defendants. I will deny your claim, Carly, and I just wish you the best, and I know you're going to shine. Okay? Take good care of yourself and that beautiful baby girl. Okay? Good luck.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the co-defendants. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
I don't understand how you can look at me, how you can look at Jasmine and feel nothing.
Just pray. Just pray.
This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.